flavours you find in Scotch whisky are very wide and very complex, and the blender's job is to understand that complexity.
As you're going through this ever-changing journey, there are so many different memories that can just come to the fore. It's about connecting the memory to what you're actually experiencing in the glass.
Our story starts with John Walker, who was born in 1805, and when he was 14 years old in 1819, his father died, and they sold the family farm, and the money that they raised, they used to buy the grocery shop.
We have the records of the shop, and certainly they were well into tea blending, and that's where I think the skills for whisky blending would start.
The Walker family, they were entrepreneurs, they were streetwise, they were savvy.
We stand on the shoulders of giants in terms of the understanding of how those flavours are made.
I think it's one of the things that concerns us a lot as blenders. You're following on from a line of blenders that sat back with John Walker. Looking at quality and consistency, some of our older recipes, for example, our red label and our black label that have come from John Walker, Alexander. So we're looking after those recipes and we're making sure that every time consumer tries red label and black label, they have the same whisky.
The bottle sums up Johnnie Walker.
It's solid, it's resilient, it's even stronger when it's with the other 11 bottles in the case.
You get more words in an Atlantic label than you do in a straight label, so again, it's about, communicating all the values of the brand. I mean, the whiskies that we see today have been created by many and separate craftsmen.
A lot of people, when they think of whisky, they think of it as individual flavours, but actually what you have is a combination of flavours coming together to give you a final blend.
As whisky makers, we're profoundly curious.
There's things that we do that they may never see the light of day, that as blenders we just blend.
Whenever we're looking at whiskies, whether we're looking at existing recipes or we're looking at creating innovation products, we're always looking at flavour. Our cereal nutty notes, fresh fruits, rich fruits, tropical fruits.
And the apples, pears, the sort of mossy, grassy, leafy flavours. And that's the art of the blenders, bringing these flavours together.
Whisky's got about 500 compounds inside it. This landscape's exactly the same.
Essentially what John Walker did originally, and it's what we've all learned to do over the years. The objective is to try and create something that's better than the sum of the parts, and that's what I think blending is all about. Blenders live in the past, the present and the future. The past in terms of our history and the whiskies that we now use. The present about making use of those for our consumers today. Creating whiskies from the bar back, if you like. So if the whiskies, for example, are being enjoyed, say, with soda or with other mixers, adding water, perhaps with a little ice, or even as cocktails, thinking about how we make a blend that will work. And the future is all about making sure that the whiskies that are made today will be used in the future.
You look to the past for inspiration. These guys were making whisky to the very highest standard, and we're doing exactly the same today.
If you get it right, that difficulty was well worth doing, and Alexander Walker is, if you like, looking over our shoulder as we work today.